Hey, how you doing? Daniel Ruiz Ties and the Writer's Life. It is Tuesday evening, a roasting hot day in London. Supposed to be cooler tomorrow, thankfully. Found myself walking through the park a couple of times today, which, if anything, I dislike more than running through the park. At least when I'm running in the park, I'm running. I'm getting it over and done with. But walking through the park in this uncomfortable heat and feeling my jaw clench when I see these sunbathers lying on the grass, with or without a blanket, seeing people wearing flip flops, their heels exposed. There's not enough on the heel of the flip flop to elevate the foot. You're walking through mucky streets. This is what kills me about the summer. Reasonably productive day, all set to make a push on the writing tomorrow. I've done all the preliminary stuff that I need for the rewrite. I mean, it should have been done weeks ago. As I say, I've just been in a bit of a slump this summer. August feels like I've had to wade through a very underwhelming TV show, and I've been committed to watching it all the way through. But I've just been finding it really difficult. I've had to make a real effort, and now I'm nearing the end of the series, and I just can't wait to finish it so I can go off and do something else. That's kind of how the writing situation feels at the moment. I had such a brilliant first 6 months, and now I just think it's kind of a bit of a physical and physical slump too, but a mental slump too. I think I need a break, a little break from the writing. Wore a hat today, which I never do unless I'm running. If I'm running, I'll wear the baseball cap back to front, like a mid '80s white kid. If Sue Barker saw the hat back to front, she'd kind of think, "Hey, he's a bit of a maverick like Leighton Hewitt." Those things aren't normal in Wimbledon. They mark you out as a bit different. But the baseball cap today, the right way round, no logo on it. I don't do logos, plain t-shirt here. And, it's just too hot today, and I just thought, I've got the sun cream on, I've got the shades on. I always feel awkward the first day of summer wearing shades. Reminds me a bit of when I used to have to wear shorts to school the first day every spring or summer. I feel very self-conscious, a bit like that with shades. The baseball cap was on the maximum setting. I couldn't have got it any bigger, and it was still tight. So I always struggle with hats. Winter hats, I like, they're roomier. There's a greater range of winter hats. You've got the beanie hat, you've got the woolly hat, you've got the hat with the flaps. I've got one of those. I can't remember what they're called. If you have a winter coat with a hood, that's another option. Personally, even though I've got a winter coat with a hood, it's caused me immense problems, as my old podcast listeners will remember. And thankfully I was able to remove the fur from the hood a couple of winters ago, but it's still very hard when, like me, you travel with a bag and you work all the time, to remove the bag from over the hood. The hood's always catching it, so it's not something I'll ever buy again. But summer hats, they're kind of limited for a guy. I don't know how it works for women, but for a guy, I think you got the baseball cap, you got the bucket hat. I like the look of a bucket hat, but I think they're a very, very young guy's hat, kind of toddler's hat, really. But I think they're better than baseball caps. I'm kind of sorry that they're not really an adult's hat. Unless you're a music festival goer, and while I'd love to be young enough to wear a bucket hat, I don't want to be wearing one because I'm a music festival goer. So I was left with a baseball cap, logo free, put it on. As I say, couldn't have got it any bigger. And it was still tight. Thankfully, it didn't give me a headache. Every time I caught sight of myself in the reflection of a shop window or a car window, I thought I either look ill or I look undercover. It just doesn't look right on me. It's not a look I've ever liked, and yeah, I won't be doing it again tomorrow. Thankfully, as I say, it's going to be cooler tomorrow. But not a baseball cap guy. Even going back to childhood, I used to play for this team, United Royals, in Clapham Little League. Started with them in the 84-85 season. We got battered every Saturday morning. I was always in goal, and coincided with my fat period. As much as I love the 80s, it kills me that I didn't lose the weight until 89. So from 84 until late 88, I was a fat kid. And then the weight came off, and that increased my confidence, and started attracting girls for the first time. And I had a great 1989, and it kills me really that it was only at the close of the decade that I really made the most of the 80s. So I was this chubby kid in goal, and there was one day where a kid in the opposition, fired a shot, maybe from just inside our own half, and it just sailed over me. And Thursday, training, we used to train, I think, in Clapham South. And at training, the manager laid into me for that goal, saying it was because I wasn't wearing a hat. And the reason I wasn't wearing a hat is because even as a kid, I found it difficult to find a summer cap that would sit on the head comfortably. So, I'm not necessarily gutted that I can't wear baseball caps because I don't like them. But, if there's reincarnation, I want to come back as someone who finds hats less of a problem. I want to come back as someone who gets less irritated by people, who gets less irritated by ponces, who doesn't get wound up by pram joggers, flask carriers, people on buses talking on their phones, people paying over the odds for bad coffee. And I want to come back as someone who can wear hats. So we'll see. Also had to buy one of these today, a GU10 halogen bulb. And I think one of the bulbs in the hallway inside the flat has blown, because I noticed it was much darker yesterday. So there's only one bulb working in there now. And, I'm determined that today I would sort this out. That was today's target. Came back, got the bulb. £10 in Sainsbury's, £1 in Poundland. You can, no prizes for guessing which option I went for. And I thought, right, how am I going to do this? Because this flat has got very high ceilings, which, I know it's a thing for people, but I think it makes a flat harder to clean. It makes it harder to heat up. And, I just don't buy into that. So there's a very awkward ladder here, very heavy ladder. I had to take that out into the hallway, had to climb up onto the second top rung after switching the electricity off, because I thought these ceiling bulbs, they're not going to be easy. I don't think I've ever changed one before. Thought it's not going to be easy. Let's read up on this. I don't like watching videos. I only watch videos as a last resort. So I went to WikiHow first. WikiHow told me that I have to apply pressure with both thumbs to the bulb and turn it anti-clockwise. There's absolutely no give on the bulb. Option 2 is using a straw. I'm not going to use a straw. I'm not going to spend my evening trying to find a different use for a straw. So I started watching some YouTube videos. None of the videos that I saw, and I'm not a video guy, I like text, that's the way I take in information. You call, you have an issue with something. Let's say you call BT broadband or whatever. You got an issue with your broadband, and they say, well, if you go to our page or whatever, there's a video you can watch. I don't want to watch a video. Don't tell me to watch a video. Send me some text. Let me read it. Let me assimilate the information and see if I can do it that way. Video, always the last resort. And none of these videos helped. And then we got the police siren, the inevitable police siren. Incredible. The last 3 videos I've done. What is wrong with South London? So, it said you should also wear gloves because halogen bulbs can, something to do with the oil from the halogen bulbs. So I turned the electricity off. I got these gloves I got from the hospital on Saturday. Frustratingly, I got 5 gloves rather than 6. I was hoping to get 3 pairs, so I came up short there. But I've not been able to do it, so it's defeated me. I think I've done all the research I could have done. So I'm thinking, what is the point in having another bash tomorrow? Because I've had a really good bash today. I was in the mood to do it today. I was determined. The jaw was clenching as I was up on the ladder. I don't see what else I can do tomorrow. So it's really frustrating for me. I like things to be simple in a flat. I'm not the kind of guy who, when I move into a place, It's going to look the same when I move out. I'm not one for decorating or any of that stuff. The place has to be ready. I'm not going to spend my life decorating a place every 2 or 3 years or worrying about the furniture. I'm too busy for that. The one thing I'd like is just to be able to fix simple things, changing a bulb, something a kid could do. But all of a sudden, we got a situation where we've got bulbs in the ceiling and it's a high ceiling and you have to get on a ladder, you have to turn the electricity off, there's a technique to taking the bulb out. It's just too much. It is too much. These are the kind of things that I might fret about, in bed. And, this has defeated me, there's no doubt about it. A hat that didn't fit properly, a bulb I can't change. But a productive day nevertheless, a productive day. I gave it a good bash. All set for the writing tomorrow. Maybe I'm going to just have to function with one bulb in that hallway. That'll be enough, maybe. Click the subscribe button if you've enjoyed this. If you want to join the 66 subscribers now. And I'm sure I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Enjoy your evening.